Another undesigned coincidence relates to the guys who were giving false testimony against Jesus at his trial. Matthew relates that the two guys said that Jesus said, "I am able to destroy the temple of God and to rebuild it in 3 days." And Mark relates that some guys said that Jesus said, "I will destroy this temple made with hands, and in 3 days I will build another made without hands." At that time, the temple was a huge point of pride to Jews, and especially Jews in Jerusalem, so any threats against the temple would be very inflammatory and make a lot of people angry. But the court was having a hard time finding witnesses that would give a consistent charge against Jesus. These statements that they accused Jesus of making actually don't sound completely invented from scratch, because if they were inventing it, they could have made it more inflammatory by leaving off the part about rebuilding the temple in 3 days. If they were just fabricating words of Jesus, they could have just accused him of threatening to destroy the temple. That would have been enough. So here it sounds like they're remembering a garbled version of something Jesus actually did say, but neither Matthew nor Mark contain any teaching of Jesus that sounds like this. However, over in John's Gospel, in chapter 2, several years earlier in Jesus' life, he had made this comment to some Jewish leaders who asked him about a sign of his authority. "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." So Jesus was speaking metaphorically about the temple of his body, not the stone temple in Jerusalem. And this quote was the source of the conflicting testimony given against him several years later in the trial. Notice that John never mentions those statements at the trial. Matthew and Mark never mention Jesus' earlier statement. So it's not a deliberate interlocking, it's just a casual, undesigned, accidental confirmation between these multiple eyewitness reports.